welcome back to more DML. So as you can gather from the title, this little guy right here is going to be the next dragon of the week in DML. So the fluffy dragon, he's an adorable little shadow epic, shadow, water and wind. So honestly, if you've just unlocked the shadow element, he might work pretty well as sort of a, I guess, defensive dragon. But this guy will be coming to us on Monday, and the combination you're going to have to use to breed him will be the UV and Dust Dragons. So there is no shared breeding time with these two. There are 8 other possible outcomes. Some of them have a 16-hour breeding time, 14 hours, 8 hours, but more or less it's going to be a pretty simplistic breed come next week, which, you know, during all the Divine event stuff is obviously a very good thing. But make sure you've got your UV and Dust Dragons ready for Monday if you do want to have a shot at breeding the guy. I mean, we're not going to have the castle event running through very much of Monday anyway, so you do have a little while if you do want to breed him. But speaking of castle events, it is a new reset. It's 3 days and 11 hours remaining, and we are on level 6 still. And actually, if we feed this guy up, we might be able to open our first chest of level 6. So come on, let's feed up this little baby fire dragon and see what we get. In all likelihood, it will be a raw dragon piece, but I guess that is better than nothing. So, oh wait, actually it's our second chest. I've already forgotten we've already opened one. So let's go. Do we get the Anubis? Nah, of course not. Why would we? Why would we? So I did go to the middle top right. They were cheaper, and I don't know, it's probably cheaper to go down one of the bottom paths, but we might just go to the top left because, you know, let's just do it in a little pattern, you know, middle, right, left, and then left, right. How about that? Does that sound good? I think that's a nice little pattern to, you know, make our way through the event with, but I really need to not miss any resets, because I am not going to be here on Sunday, and for part of Saturday as well, so I really cannot afford to miss a single reset from this point onwards, and I have not missed a reset so far either. So all the people saying that they're almost done with the event, I have no idea how, unless you actually bought event currency, because again, I have literally not missed a singular reset thus far. So I don't know what the dealio is with that, but, you know, what's been happening is, you know, I have been planning to try and get as many resets as I can, but through the night, I've just been, like, waking up due to dreams and random nightmares and stuff like that anyway. So, I mean, it's worked out pretty well. I mean, thank you, nightmares, for waking me up in the middle of the night to actually, you know, do the event stuff. I can appreciate that. But, you know, this event is still very time consuming. I've always said, I wish that they could make these events a little bit easier so that more players had access to them, or the reward dragons at the end. But, you know, I don't think that's ever really going to change. They say, oh, we want to make it a challenge for players, and I think that's mostly just like, we want to make it as difficult as physically possible. Yay! It's kind of like the boss challenge event, how realistically, you literally cannot miss a single fight if you actually want to sleep for the required amount every day, like the normal, say, 6 to 7 hours plus a day that you're supposed to get. And boss challenges don't even take that into account, so we are going to be having one of those next week, I think, for the Divine event, to get stuff for the Divine chests that are coming up. Ugh. Don't even remind me. The Divine chests are coming. And do be reminded, the Divine chests have been confirmed to be bottomless pits. So, there are no... You know, there's no chance that you build up the cards as you go, kind of like, you know, the original event that we had. No, they're bottomless pits. So, you could just never ever get the dragons out of the Divine chests ever, which is certainly wonderful, because it used to be that as you got pieces for dragons, obviously it would just fill up, and then you couldn't get the pieces for those dragons any longer, but now you can. So it basically works like a loot box. Like if you've ever played, I don't know, Counter-Strike, or if you've ever played, I think PUBG has a ton of them as well. You know, any of the other big games, they normally use that system purely for cosmetic items, like skins for weapons or skins for your character. But no, in this game, we put some of the strongest dragons in the game in them, because that's the very great thing to do for your audience. Or more so, player base. So, I don't know. I still don't think that we're going to be very happy come next week. They have not released the drop percentage chances for the pieces yet. And I'm pretty sure legally they have to disclose that information now, because, you know, last time the event ran, they were breaking the iOS store's terms of service. So, I'm pretty sure they have to disclose the odds somewhere. I have not seen them anywhere quite yet, so if anyone does have a link to that anywhere, or if they even have posted it, you know, let me know. Because last time the chance of getting 40 pieces for the Divine, I think, was like 0.08% of a chance, something like that. And there were a couple of people, obviously, that did have that happen, but it was so incredibly unlikely. So, I don't know, there's a chance that we could get a full Divine Dragon out of a singular chest this time, apparently. But, I mean, if before for 40 pieces, it was 0.08% to get a full piece for a Divine, I imagine that that percentage would probably be even lower, right? I mean, that's what I'd assume. But, I don't know, I guess we shouldn't really assume things until the event actually gets here. But I don't think we can do any more of these yet. I mean, we can catch creatures whenever they spawn, we can collect gold whenever it whenever the thing spawns over the habitats, I should say, but apart from that, that is as far as we can go with this amount of currency. Oh, look at the little sparkly things going around Anubis. You know, the hieroglyphs. It seems like for some reason a lot of people didn't even know what the hieroglyphs were, which is very weird, because there's literally a badge that is related to, you know, finding all of the hieroglyphs in both parts of the castle event, so I thought that more people would have been aware of what the hieroglyphs actually did, but apparently not. Because on the last video, everyone was like, what are these? Like, what's the point of doing this? It's like, I don't know, to get the badge? I guess it depends on whether you care enough, because, you know, between you and me, I don't care very much about getting the new badges, because you can only display one anyway. So if we did have, like, a player profile page where it showed, like, you know, your top dragons, your player level, all of your badges and everything to, you know, other players, I think that would be pretty cool. Because I know that we have it, obviously, where you can visit other people and see their island and their dragons, but I don't think there's a way to see all their achievements or anything like that. So if they manage to add that at some point, maybe people would find the badges more, I guess, interesting, or actually want to bother to get them. Because at the moment, it's like, you can only show off one badge, and then there's been a ton of bugs related to badges anyway. So a lot of people ended up turning off their badges, like, last patch, because you couldn't even see your clan score or something, or your clan members' score and things like that. So, I don't know, I'm pretty sure that bug is fixed now. But just give me a way to see everyone's badges. Then you can go, oh wow, they've been a part of, like, all of the castle events with new badges. They're pretty cool. Whoa, they found all of the secret bunnies in the Easter event. Wow, what a cool guy. I mean, that is slightly sarcastic, but at the same time, a lot of people love that sense of progression, you know? Anything to keep the players active, put it in there. Anything to keep the players, you know, comparing with each other and, you know, competing as best as you can in a mobile game like this, obviously, you know, pop it in there. I know that people in other games, like, they, for some reason, seem to value what skins they have really highly. Like, in certain games, if you have, like, a special weapon for, I don't know, placing up to a certain rank, then you get given a special weapon and everyone goes, wow, you must be pretty good. Imagine if we had something like that in DML. Because I don't think being able to advertise that I'm a VIP player has quite the same effect as something like that. Maybe that would be the sort of thing that people would be willing to, you know, pay for the ability to display on their profile. I don't know, I'm just guessing here. Obviously, I'm not a game dev, so I'm not claiming I know any better. I'm just throwing out some ideas, you know, for a tired girl at 2 AM. You know, don't judge me. But, you know, for now, there is not a whole lot else that we can do, and it is too bloomin' hot to continue. It's 2 AM, and I am sweating cobs, so I am going to head off. So, for now, keep going in the event. I'm going to keep going to get ready and looking forward to that next Dragon of the Week as well. But until next time, I will see you then.